Well, guys, this is a performance report. It's one of my systems. Here I'm offline, of course, because I want to show you something. This system is something I've been trading for a long while. It's a very good system. You can see the equity line. It's on the E-mini S&P 500. And apart from some trouble here or there, so it has always been performing very well, undoubtedly. Also, the trade analysis, you can see about $140 average trade and close to 100 on the short side, which is normally hard to achieve on E-mini. But what happened on 28th of February? This is the trading day. You see it here. And we started well, a short entry, which was reversed to a long here with a gain. But then stop, stop, stop. You see all these long entries here after the short, and then here again, and here again, and here again, all stopped out. And in the end, a short entry stopped out as well. So this was a real disaster day. These days are those who make you wonder. And if you look at the daily report, you see it was this is the night session. It was a disaster, a real disaster. But also the latter period was not that nice. But when these things happen, I think if there could be a solution to avoid. And if I look at this report, what I notice is that the system actually traded pretty often. You see the high number of trades compared to the standard. We had a number of trades definitely higher than normal, and you can see it from the chart as well. So the question is, but what if I limited the number of trades during the session? So I took this, I created a test version of the same system. And in this test version, I inserted the condition max entries, and to limit the number of entries during the day. The optimization of this input, optimization is to study how it behaves, shows that actually you probably cannot see it properly here, but trust me, the numbers are very close. We are all about $180,000 in the trading period we analyze with a single contract. But for the first, this is the best one with 4 entries limited. The only one where we lose some performance is the first one here. With only 1 entry, we lose performance, but we would have obviously avoided the disaster day, but the average trade in this case is about 10% better than all the others. So actually, shall I aim for a strong average trade, which you know I like very much, losing some performance, but also, this is where we started from, avoiding days like the 28th of February? So this is the question. So easy, we just take this input and we analyze the report more in depth. It takes a while because the report is, yeah, we're on the right way, yes. It's weird that I see the trades on the chart, but the report is not right. Okay, here we go. So now this is the performance report. We still have a bad period, of course, here, but not as bad as the one we saw. As you know, something less. The equity line, apart from this period here, is a nice one. But now, what I would like to do, obviously, is to make a direct comparison with this is the 28th of February, and you see it's definitely much better. It's not as bad. Here, I want to compare it with the original report, the one where I had this disaster, and which made a little bit more money, as I told you. Here it is. It's about $10,000 more. Yes, this is it. Sorry. Here we go. Okay, now, okay. So you see, it's a slight difference in net profit, about $10,000 more here on this side. And if we look at the total trade analysis, I said we are increasing the average trade by about 10%, 140 to 160, and also the short side is better. On the right is the test report, okay? So actually it's promising. It's something that could be considered. But if we look anyway at the maximum drawdown of the system, we see that there is no real improvement. Oh, it's even worse, a bit worse, really. It's the close to close is worse. So actually, I don't have an overall benefit. I lose some performance. I do have a better average, but the drawdown is not really better. And remember that all this started from trying to avoid those crazy days. If we look at the annual period of this system, we see that, here it is, that obviously in 2020 we do better, less worse, okay? We do also better in 2019, 39,000 against 35, but, you see here, but in 2018 we earn very, very small money compared to what we did with the original system. It's about 1,000 something against 18,000. And this is something I don't like, really. Not because I'm greedy, but just because I don't like it as a concept. And in 2008, again, we make about 10,000 against 22,000, as if the volatility of 2008 was there to help systems that entered over and over again, even after stops, just trying to get the right move. And they did it in the end, as you see from the performance here. So if I look at these metrics, I'm a bit puzzled. I try to avoid a bad day, and the only thing to do was to cut the number of entries. I'm not trying to get rid of that day with some filter. No, I'm just trying to slightly change the concept. I got the solution, of course, but I see that this solution is not what I like most in other years. Now, I leave it up to you. Please write in your comments what would you do in this case. I do this. If something big happens, like on the 28th of February, a bad thing in this case, I look into my system, if I can improve it, if I could have avoided that. Not avoid the day with some trick, but avoid the situation. And this is what I did. We could actually even consider something different, because if you look at the optimization report, one was what we analyzed, but with two, we still have an improvement in the average trade, and obviously we would have avoided the awful 28th February to some extent, because we're still limiting the entries to 2 in this case, and we would have avoided all the row of stops we experienced. I experienced on my account. So also here it takes a while. The system is a bit complex, so it takes a while to do. Here you see now 2 trades because we limited to 2. And okay, 2008 is not bad, 2018 is good as well, 2020 is bad. So these are numbers I like more. Now I've not yet made my decision what I'm going to do. The equity line, of course, is nice. Let me know your opinion. I will probably put this condition in place with limited 2 entries per day. But remember, the approach I run here is I look if I could avoid the worst case scenario that I experienced. Not tricking my system and saying if date is 28th of February, don't trade now, but what caused the problem? Okay, can I get a workaround? Yes, maybe it's this one. Let me know. Please comment.